In this video, I'm going to be assessing the physiognomy of Moggers with physical characteristics that can be referred to as apex predator traits, and I'll be comparing the common traits among them. The first Mogger we'll look at is Randy Orton, and first we'll check his side profile to see which of the 4 temperaments he can be categorized under. The temperament is associated with energy level and the intensity of energy that someone has when it comes to thinking and acting. From Orton's side profile, we can see that he has a sanguine temperament, which is defined by having a forehead that slants backwards, a jaw where the gonial angle is close to making a right angle, and a chin that projects past the forehead. This is the prototypical warrior skull, and sanguines are known for typically being the outgoing, sociable type who are instantly popular. They will often want to be the boss and center of attention, and enjoy feeling like the king in an egotistical and self-aggrandizing way. They have a tendency to be impatient and impulsive. Sanguines make good athletes and actors, and Orton could be considered to meet the description of both, with his career in the WWE. Sanguines also tend to make good soldiers or military officers, and Orton did join the Marines, which shows he had this inclination, but he received a dishonorable discharge after going AWOL twice and disobeying a superior officer. This was likely a case of his impulsive side coming out, as sanguines have a tendency to be impulsive and impatient, which can lead to them disobeying orders and taking action to do whatever they want immediately, even if it may have negative consequences down the line. Moving over to his face shape, we can see he has a clear rectangle face shape, which is known as the Mars face, and it stands for the warrior archetype. People with the rectangle face shape and warrior archetype unsurprisingly have a strong impulse to fight, meaning they'll get into lots of clashes with people, and once someone falls out of favor with them, they can quickly go from loving to hating them, but they will also be generous and caring to the people they are on good terms with. The rectangle face shape is one of the sanguine face shapes, so it mirrors a lot of the traits present in the sanguine temperament, such as impatience and impulsiveness, and they are also big risk takers. The next Mogger we're going to be looking at is Fimmel, who plays the role of Ragnar in the Vikings series. From looking at his side profile, we can see that he has a pure choleric temperament, which is defined by having an obtuse angle to the jawline, a straight or rounded forehead, and a chin that is level with the forehead in terms of projection. Cholerics are known for being natural bosses who have high energy and endurance. They can come across as cold, unfeeling, or bossy, and they could be described as thinkers and doers rather than feelers. They also tend to be positive pessimists who can recognize problems, but are proactive in taking steps to fix the problem while being optimistic about solving the problems they face. Looking at Fimmel's face shape, he has an oval face shape which is known as the sun face or the aristocrat archetype. People with the sun face shape tend to be aloof, detached, and give a sense of being above it all. They are also idealistic, with an analytical, intelligent mind. The sun face is categorized as a sanguine face shape by some systems, such as the one I'm using, and a choleric face shape by other systems, so it may be considered to sit somewhere between the two. Fimmel's physiognomy, with his choleric temperament and oval face shape, makes him an ideal actor to play the role of a Viking leader. His physiognomy indicates someone that's detached and unfeeling, while also being decisive and dedicated to his role, which is what would be required to lead a band of Vikings through battles. In the series, his character even expresses the typical characteristics of the sun face, as he becomes notably withdrawn and emotionally distant from his wife, his sons, and his responsibilities as king over time. Next up, we have Hemsworth, who is also a pure choleric in his temperament. Despite being more robust than Fimmel and being closer to Orton in terms of bone mass, his chin stays level with his forehead, which is rounded at the top without an overly aggressive brow ridge. His jawline and gonial angle makes an obtuse angle, giving him a choleric jawline. His face shape is the hexagon face shape, aka the Pluto face, which is an exaggeration of the Mars rectangular face shape. But Pluto-faced people are much more loyal, dedicated, and long-term focused, making them less impatient and impulsive than rectangle face-shaped people. The Pluto face has a larger lower third than the Mars face, and we can see this with Hemsworth with his large prominent chin. The Pluto face is known as the guardian archetype. Just like how Mars-faced people make good actors, so do Pluto-faced people. and Hemsworth's face shape makes him the ideal man to play the role of the heroic leader or warrior, which he's cast as in movies such as Thor. In the first Thor movie, he is extremely impulsive, reckless, and hot-headed, but throughout the movies he evolves to become a more mature and less impulsive warrior who's more strategic and thoughtful, which reflects his choleric traits and the long-term focus elements of the Pluto face shape. Next up we have Hernandrago, who strikes the balance between ideal ratios and extreme dimorphism. From his side profile we can see he has a choleric jawline with a sanguine forehead and chin, making his temperament a sanguine and choleric mix. This means that he may tend to be more impulsive and impatient in his intellect, like sanguines typically are, while being more long-term focused and enduring in terms of his career and projects due to his choleric jawline. The sanguine chin can indicate someone who is able to make a strong first impression on people when they first meet them, and also starts new projects with intensity. His face shape is the rectangular face shape, which is the warrior archetype, as we've mentioned already. And with this robust rectangular face and sanguine side profile with a choleric jawline, he has the perfect mix of kingly, regal, leader and warrior elements to play a role such as Superman, which he was shortlisted for at one point in time, but he chose not to attend the audition. Drago went on to have a career in television, which is something he was suited for because of his natural tendencies, along with the presence he commands with his physical appearance. Drago's physiognomy commands respect not just from a primal sense of a pure sanguine like Orton, but also from an authoritative sense, where people expect his dominant-looking physical traits to be tied to intellectual competence. Finally, we have David Gandhi, who like Drago has a temperament that's a sanguine choleric mix with a jawline that's choleric and a forehead and chin that's sanguine. From some angles it looks like he could be a pure sanguine, as his jaw angle can look close to that of a sanguine, but in other pictures, and particularly in videos, you can see he has a choleric jawline. What's interesting about Gandhi is that despite his sanguine physical traits, he comes across as someone who's distant from the behaviours associated with sanguines, such as being sociable, wanting to be the centre of attention, and wanting to feel like the king in a self-aggrandizing way. He may have sanguine traits that are expressed in a different way, where he expresses the more courageous and heroic side without the outgoing, centre of attention desires. His Sigma personality may be a reflection of this, as he has spoken about splitting away from his modelling group to do castings on his own, and refusing to trim down his physique, and deciding that the brands need to accommodate him rather than him adapting to suit the brands. His choleric jawline, like Drago's, means he's long-term focused and enduring in terms of his career and projects, and this is reflected by his long successful career in modelling and other business ventures. Gandhi has spent a lot of time in the spotlight over the years with regular TV appearances, which showed that he could express his underlying sanguine traits of being sociable and making a good initial impression when it was required of him. In terms of his face shape, he has a rectangle face shape, making both his temperament and face shape the same as Drago's, and it's something that could be described as the warrior with all-round competence. Comparing the physiognomy of the 5 Moggers we highlighted in this video, we have 1 pure sanguine temperament, 2 pure cholerics, and 2 mixed who are majority sanguine with a choleric jawline. The most common face shape is unsurprisingly the Mars rectangle face shape for the warrior archetype, with 3 of the Moggers having this face shape, which is fitting for apex predator physiognomy, with another one having a variant of the Mars face with the Pluto hexagon face shape. 1 Mogger has the oval face shape, which means they all have face shapes that are categorized under sanguine face shapes, with all of them having a choleric element to their temperament, aside from Orton, who is a pure sanguine. Looking at their features, they all have deep-set hooded eyes, which means that they are all withdrawn and calculating, and think before they speak, with Gandhi having the most blatant example of hunter eyes, with Hemsworth and Drago being next on the hunter eyes scale. In terms of robustness, they're all very robust, aside from Travis Fimmel, whose robustness is more moderate, giving him more of a wolf-like physiognomy than the lion or tiger physiognomy association we see with Hemsworth, for example. It has been quite some time since my last video with a voiceover on this channel, and in the meantime, I was working on my status ascension goals. Despite thinking that my work with this channel was done, you can never truly leave the PSL sphere, which is why you will be seeing more videos from me going forward with more physiognomy videos planned first.